often you have to spin something between entities in editors. So to do that, I have three examples that I'm going to show you. The first one on the left is the spawners. It's on the level between the spawner and spawn points. When I'm gonna add them, the spawner will spawn AI only on these points I selected. The middle one is point maker, which is for a go to logic node or invoke, up to you. And the last one is the switch. Basically, we can use it for a story or any entities on the level, which I'm gonna show you as well. So let's get going. First of all, let's get the spawners. I'm gonna select this, open the powered prefab, just to make edit, and I have something called spawn points. Well, you have to actually know which entity should be where, because if you select right now, for example, I'm using the lock, which means when I'm clicking anything else, it's not gonna be deselected in attributes. GPU pixometer, I can add it, but it won't work obviously. So I can just select the spawn points, click on this element, and add selected entities. That's how I'm adding the objects. Is the first way. Of course, you can just click on the plus, three dots, and select them from this point, but you have to do it one by one, so it's gonna take a time. So just add selected entities, it helps a lot. That's basically it about this kind of thing. And these, as you can see, when I'm selecting the spawn points, the spawner on the scene is red. I mean the orange, sorry. The orange. So it means this entity I'm currently have selected is related to the spawner. It helps in navigating between scene. The second one is point my. Oh, one thing. You don't actually need to name these because they are not story related, so you don't care about it. It's up to you if you want to name them or not. It's up to you, to be honest. But things like point maker that I'm gonna point in story, they should be named within attributes. So let's say it's a invoke, PM invoke. Remember, if you change the name or anything, or you adding the new prefab to connect it to the story, at least use quick save. You don't have to close the prefab, but save it so story will see the path to the entity, because otherwise that entity hasn't been yet in this prefab, so he doesn't know really how to add it. When you actually click the save, it should work, but okay, let's get going. So back to the story. I have three nodes. I'm gonna use because I have selected currently a PM invoke, so point maker. I'm going back to attributes, and once again you can just add selected entity. That's it. You have two options in this case, because you don't have to lock or anything. Just when I save it, it should it's invalid value because I didn't set anything, and as you can see, the warning are gone. So when I'm gonna use play sequence, probably I can select entity as well, but as you can see, when I'm trying to find it on three dots, it's not searchable because I don't have any sequence on the level right now. When I'm choosing the invokes, as you can see, there's a lot go-to points. There's a lot I can actually use, and it's a kind of filter where you can pin it. But to be honest, like I said, you need to know which one prefab should be in this place. Use working all the same. Like, let's call it switch. The one thing, if you, for example, use to switch, you cannot have them named the same, because the path and the same hierarchy, because the story won't know which one he's supposed to launch, so he gonna use just one of them. So it's better to add just 01, 02, and you can actually select two, and you can add multiple selects those to certain points. So if I actually use the switch, two switches here. I can make, for example, set player health after that, just that switch, or this one set variable if I want, and out in this case will be only when both of them are completed, which means desired value is on the on. So you don't have to actually select this two, but just out to all, and or just move forward to the next node, and it will work. It depends because sometimes you want to launch the light or something. Also you can change the required count if you want. So after, for example, launching three switches is gonna move forward. So there's also control attributes in switch. So you can actually add, for example, JPX emitter. And one thing, because currently we pinned in the switch the FX, but FX is enabled right now, so it's gonna play no matter what. To disable the FX, go by select the GPA FX emitter, then go to attributes and disable enabled. You can actually use when you don't have enabled anywhere, like, oh, I don't have on this prefab, but I want to show them in current progress on the story. I can just turn off the self active, and I can show it in story, and it will be shown by switch. It's that kind of logic. So when you don't have enable, just turn off the self active. It's gonna be turned off. It's kind of splitted because sometimes you want to disable the spawner, but you don't want to remove it from the game like self active. So it's depending on the use. It's kind of complicated. But that's it about the adding the pins. This is beautiful. I'm sorry.